It's bad. There's no other way to say it. It's bad. And it doesn't help that C.J. Stroud is lighting it up while Bryce Young is not. They don't have a lot around him. In the last year, they have traded Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. Their best two offensive weapons, you could argue, that they've had in the last decade. I don't know if that overlaps with Steve Smith's time. I don't think it does, but you get my point. The last 5 years, their best two offensive weapons, Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, are gone. It made sense to trade Christian McCaffrey. You're rebuilding, although Matt Rule didn't necessarily think he was at the time, but we're paying a running back $16 million. We're not going anywhere. Okay, let's trade the running back that makes $16 million. It makes no sense to pay a running back $16 million when we're not good. So they made the trade. DJ Moore, I'm sure they regret having to throw in to get to number one, but they threw him in. He's a Bear. Every now and then you remember that he's a Bear and somebody throws to him, but he's not a Panther. And as a result, Bryce Young has Adam Thielen to throw to. Love the guy. Adam Thielen probably, with some truth serum, would admit to you that he's not a number one anymore. Probably never was. He's really good, but there's not a lot around Bryce Young. The line isn't good, and they're an offensive mess. The former players that I respect on Twitter last night that were questioning aloud, what is this offense? Like, what are we watching? Yes, it's a short week. Yes, he's a young quarterback. Yes, he's on the road. Those are tough circumstances. But the Bears aren't that good. They're just not. And you expect more, especially 2 weeks ago. Bryce Young and the Panthers at home had their big breakthrough. They beat C.J. Stroud and the Texans. That meant a lot for a lot of reasons. And since then, faceplant. Last week, 2 pick sixes by Kenny Moore, making him the AFC Defensive Player of the Week against Bryce Young. And then what we saw last night. Play Frank Reich, if we could, please, on the podium afterwards.
We're not scoring points on offense. We got to be better. I believe we will be better. That's how I feel. And listen, this is, when we say, I don't think we have any unrealistic expectations that, it's not like we're saying, we've talked about this before, scoring's down. We just got to figure out to play well enough to win football games. That's really what I'm concerned about, is winning. I'm not worried about how many yards or what the stats are. I'm concerned about playing winning football. And I don't want to get caught up in the stats. I want to get caught up in winning. And, we've had too many close games where if we play a little bit better on offense, we win. And so that's what I'm not going to focus on, how many yards or what the run-pass ratio is. Those are all fair questions and ask away. But, for us right now, it's just making plays to win football games.
I don't know if the average fan understands the emotional toll these games take on the men in that room. And that includes the coaches. That includes everybody who works around the clock to get ready for game day. And the look on his face says everything. And I recognize that look. It is very similar to the look that Frank Reich had last year when trying week in, week out to explain why they lost again and why Sam Ehlinger is playing or why they've decided to put Matt Ryan back in or why they decided, like last night, to call a timeout on 3rd and 10 after already breaking the huddle, then changing the play, then not running to get closer, and then sending Eddie Pinheiro out there on a cold night for a 59-yard field goal try to tie the game. I think Frank's in trouble. I don't wish it upon him, but the look on David Tepper's face when he was shown at Soldier Field last night, shaking his head and then covering his face, it's not a good look. It is not a good look.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.